What you're looking at is a beautiful little boy. What is Wyatt now? About 4 years old. And healthy, alive, vibrant child, full of spirit, full of God, and a wonderful little mountain boy too. And it so happens, it's so interesting that when I decided to share with you the difference between space clearing and space cleansing, that a most unbelievable experience would happen to me within 2 days of that. And that was, I was at the home of little Wyatt. And he went to bed, and then he started to scream while we were sitting at the table, and his father ran upstairs to see what happened to Wyatt. And he ran back down the stairs saying, "Oh my God, Wyatt is having a seizure." And fortunately there were many women there with children, one from a lovely woman that ran a daycare center, and she had a similar experience with one of the children at her daycare centers. She ran upstairs to help. We also had a wonderful healer here who also did some space clearing energetically of the body to help him. But now that we've experienced this, I'm at the home of little Wyatt. And I'm here to space clear for you so that you can learn how to do space clearing along with space cleansing. So today what we're going to do is we're going to cleanse the space so that we can rid the environment of any lethargic energy that may still be around, that it might be negative or what we call sha-chi energy that may be hanging out. It could be spirits, it could be just a dark cloud over the house. Because we don't want this to happen to Wyatt again, and I'm sure it's not going to because we've already done some major clearing for him. So with your permission, I'm going to show you how to actually space clear and cleanse an environment rather than using sage. You know, sage is like the most commonly used space cleanser, but it actually only lasts about 24 hours. So my goal for you is to clear a space that it will last energetically for at least 2 or 3 weeks if it's chaotic energy, and it should last forever if we can remove the energy, the sha-chi, at the time of space clearing. So I'm going to go over here and show you what you need. This is just a bag of Epsom salt. You use it for taking a bath, and what we're going to do is use it for the space cleanser. I suggest that you buy several mugs that you don't mind losing. This came from the 99-cent store. You can buy maybe a dozen of them because you're going to want to do the space cleansing in every room in your environment, especially when you move into a new property or there's been a death in a property, there's been a traumatic experience like a little boy having a seizure. We've had company that maybe the energy was just heavy and it lingered, and we want to clear the space. Or we threw a party and we had a lot of people there, and maybe they drank too much, maybe the energy got too high, too chaotic, and there's not a sense of peace that you would like to have. So we're going to space cleanse using a porcelain cup or a mug, whatever you have. What I also have here is just a basic cookie sheet. A cookie platter works. And we're going to place the mug on the cookie platter, on the cookie sheet, and we're going to take 3 heaping teaspoons of Epsom salt and put it into the mug. And what this is going to do is we're going to complete this, so I'm saying really heaping, so don't be afraid to use as much of the Epsom salt as you'd like. We're going to throw that right into the mug. Okay, I think I have a pretty good amount there for you. And the reason actually for the cookie sheet is basically to protect the mug. I have been in situations where I cleansed houses. One I did in Hawaii where the mug shattered. So for the reason for the cookie sheet, or you could have a nice chopping block or anything that you could put the mug on, is just to protect in case of a fire. So what we're going to do now is take ordinary rubbing alcohol and we're going to pour it over the top of the Epsom salt. So I will maybe bring the camera in a little closer. You can see this. I'm just going to put enough so that it slightly covers the top of the Epsom salt. Maybe about not even 1/8 of an inch. Sometimes you have to use the spoon to even it out a bit. And this looks like it maybe needs just a little bit more. So what we're going to do is drop the match into the Epsom salt. And what this is going to do, as you can see, I'm going to drop it in, and it's going to create a flame. I might need to put just a tad more Epsom salt in here, but I'm going to drop it one more time. And typically we'll start. Okay, we have a very low flame, which could actually represent a couple things. Let me just add a little bit more. I have a feeling we just need a touch more of the Epsom salt. I may have gone overboard a little bit on the alcohol. Okay, with that, and we're going to drop a match in. Okay. Okay, now it's lighting. I'll let the camera come in a little bit. So there might be a little bit too much light in this room to see. I'm going to shut the drapes so that you can actually observe the flame. And what you want to do with the Epsom salt and rubbing alcohol, it actually creates a gas that cuts through the ethers. Unlike smudging or what we call saging, that environmentally will just clear the space for about 24 hours. The Epsom salt with the combination of the rubbing alcohol actually creates a gas that permeates the environment, the unseen energy or the ethers of the environment. What we're seeing in this room right now is actually a perfect flame. What we're looking for is a dancing golden flame that kind of just hovers above the cup like this. It can go anywhere from 1 inch to maybe even as high as 8 or 10 inches. But what I would like you to do is to read the flame. What you're going to see in some cases, like I said, when I was in Hawaii doing a space cleansing, the mug actually exploded because there was so much anger. At the time I didn't realize that the homeowner was losing her home. She was going through a divorce. She was forced into a foreclosure, and she was so angry, and the Sha-Chi energy was so stuck in this environment that the mug just splattered. It just snapped, the flame snapped, cracked, and popped. But here you're looking at a really beautiful flame that is dancing, and that's what you want to achieve. Every room is going to be different. Sometimes you're going to see flames that separate, go 2 different ways. That could be like a split energy, angry, happy, split personality. What we don't want to see is like the flame to stay very, very low in the mug, creating a blue, a dark, heavy blue energy or flame. That's lethargy, depression, sometimes extreme depression, where someone can't get out of bed. I've space cleansed houses where I couldn't even get the match to light after 12 matches, just to find out that someone had just recently died in that environment. So a lot of times other entities or living spirits linger on, but this is absolutely a beautiful flame. This flame will burn from anywhere from 1 minute to maybe 25 minutes. So in every room in your house, what you want to look at is this kind of graceful dancing flame. And there's very little blue in this flame. In fact, you can't even see the blue. And so, energetically speaking, this room has already been space cleared, and we'll let the camera view the room. It's minimalistic. It has really sweet energy. It's that dancing, happy energy. It would be the perfect place now for Wyatt to sleep in this room, to feel totally confident and comfortable. So I'm going to move so that we can get a better shot of the room, and you'll see how nice it actually is. Perfect flame, just an absolute perfect flame. So, the importance of doing this is, if you have a flame like this, you don't need to do it again probably ever, not unless you have a bad experience in this in an environment, whether it be a room or entire house. So this is what you want to see. If, like I said, you see blue light that hovers, you see flames that snap, crack, pop, which is very angry, very mean, very excitable. If you see a flame that goes up and down, blue and gold and in and out, it could be manic depression, it could be just emotional imbalance. And so you'd want to do that room again within 3 weeks. This will last 3 weeks in a very destructive environment or chaotic energy environment. And with the flame that you're looking at now, it would last forever. This room does not need to be redone. And what I'm going to do is put out this flame, because it'll probably go on for about 30 more minutes. And we're going to go into another room, because I think we're going to see, I want you to see a shift in flames and environmentally. So remember, you do need to have a cookie sheet, a mug, Epsom salt, 3 heaping tablespoons of Epsom salt, and rubbing alcohol just so it floats over, barely over the surface of the Epsom salt, and then drop in a match to create this flame. Now the flame is actually creating a gas, but it's a non-toxic gas that cuts through the ether, so you have nothing to worry about. A really nice time of day to do it is twilight, or right before sunset, when the room's a little darker and you can sit and observe. If there is a loss of a loved one or a pet, then you can sit and say a prayer. It's always nice to bless the flame, bless the energy of this room, bless this little boy with good health, with happiness, with sweet dreams, and just a vitally bright, happy future. And truly that's what little Wyatt's going to enjoy from now on. The darkness is behind. So you can see we've already done some great work in this room.